I never expected to get sick while traveling. I mean, who does, right? You're there for adventure, to see new places, live new experiences, not to be lying in bed, feeling miserable, stuck on a tiny island in the middle of nowhere. It was my dream trip. A secluded island in the South Pacific, pristine beaches, crystal clear water. I had this picture in my head, a picture of me sipping coconut water, catching sunsets, and just completely disconnecting from the world. But that dream quickly turned into a nightmare. On the third day, I woke up with a slight headache. It wasn't anything major. I thought maybe I just wasn't drinking enough water or the sun was a little too intense. I popped a couple of ibuprofen, told myself I'd be fine. By that evening, it was getting worse. The headache wasn't going away. I felt dizzy, and there was this weird pain in my stomach. I brushed it off, though. I was on an island. I couldn't just stay inside and rest, right? I wasn't going to let something like that ruin my trip. The next morning, I woke up and everything changed. The headache was excruciating. My stomach was in knots, and I couldn't keep anything down. I didn't even want to get out of bed, but I knew I needed to. I could barely stand, and I still didn't know what was happening. Was it just a bug? Was I dehydrated? Did I catch something bad? I didn't want to admit it, but I knew I needed help. So, I went to the tiny local clinic on the island, praying it wasn't something serious. But after a quick check, the doctor told me it was likely food poisoning, possibly from the water, and I'd need to be monitored. My world came crashing down. I'm stuck on a tiny island. I'm sick as a dog, and I don't know when I'll be able to leave. But that wasn't even the worst part. It was the bill. I had no idea how much medical care would cost here, and the clinic didn't seem very modern. The idea of paying for emergency medical care, especially when I hadn't planned for it, was terrifying. So I started doing what most people would do in my situation. Panic. I didn't know what to do, who to call, or how much this was going to cost. I couldn't just stay there forever, right? The longer I stayed, the worse it felt. And the bills? Who was going to cover that? That's when I remembered something I'd signed up for before my trip, travel insurance. I honestly hadn't thought much about it until that moment. I was the kind of person who thought it's just a precaution. Like most people, I didn't really think I'd need it. But there I was, trying to figure out how to get help, and I was desperate. So I called the insurance company. I was skeptical, honestly. I didn't know how they could possibly help me. But to my surprise, they walked me through every step. They coordinated with the clinic, arranged for transportation to a better hospital on a nearby island, and even covered a portion of my medical expenses. I couldn't believe it. I was actually starting to feel like things might work out. Now, I'll be the first to admit, I wasn't sure travel insurance was really worth it at first. But in that moment, I realized how wrong I was. Without it, I would have been stuck with insane bills, more stress, and probably still lying there sick. Instead, I got the care I needed, and I was able to continue my trip, just a little more carefully. It was a wake-up call. We all think we're invincible until something happens. But you can't predict everything. And sometimes, it's the things you never saw coming that can knock you off your feet. I'm not here to sell you insurance. I'm just sharing my story. But if there's one thing I'd recommend, it's this. Don't take chances with your health when traveling. It's not just about peace of mind. It's about knowing that you're covered when the unexpected happens. For me, it was rs.insure. It was the one I used, and honestly, it felt like a lifesaver. I never thought I'd need it, but in the moment, I was so grateful it was there. So if you're planning a trip, just get the insurance. It's not glamorous or exciting, but it's honestly a little peace of mind you don't want to travel without. You just never know when it could save you.